Okay, no? So, welcome to our channel, no? So, our topic for today is yung tinatawag nga nating PES32, Financial Instrument. Okay? So, PES32 prescribes the principles for presenting financial instruments as liabilities or equity and for offsetting financial asset and liabilities. Okay? So, ano ba yung pinag-uusapan natin? Financial instruments. This is any contract that give rise to a financial asset of one entity and a financial liability or equity instruments of another entity. So, yung mga financial instruments are any contracts, no? Lahat ito ay galing sa kontrata na kung saan nakakatanggap ng financial asset yung isang entity at yung kabilang entity na kausap niya sa kontrata is nakakatanggap ng financial liabilities or equity instrument. Okay? So example, no? Example natin si Company A at si Company B. Okay? Si Company A is manghihiram ng pera kay Company B. Okay? Si Company A, nanghihiram siya ng pera kay Company B. Sabi ni Company A, Company B, pahiramin mo naman ako ng pera. Okay? Ngayon si B, ang sabi niya, sige, pahiramin kita ng kontrata as long as pirmahan mo tong kontrata. Okay? As long as pirmahan mo tong kontrata na kung saan nakasulat dyan kung magkano yung hinihiram mo, kung magkano yung interest, at kung kailan mo babayaran. Okay? Ang offer ni B is yung contract at therefore, si Company A is pwedeng magkaroon ng acceptance. Okay? Para magkaroon ng contract. Ngayon, si Company B, based dun sa contract, is magkakaroon siya ng tinatawag na receivable. Okay? Makakatanggap siya ng contractual right to receive cash from A. Okay? Yung receivable na yon is a financial asset. Okay? Ngayon naman, si A, na mayroong utang or obligasyon na kung saan meron siyang contractual right based dun sa contract to pay or to obligate a financial liability. Okay? So, meron siyang contractual obligation to pay cash. Okay? So, si A, magkakaroon siya ng liability. Yung liability is a financial liability. Okay? Kaya kung mapapansin mo, merong tatlong essential requisite yung financial instrument. Okay? Number 1 is dapat merong contract. Okay? Kasi nga, lahat ng financial instrument arise from a contract. Okay? Number 2 is dapat merong at least 2 parties. Okay? Based sa example natin, si Company A at si Company B. And lastly, dapat magkaroon ng financial asset yung isang entity at yung isa merong financial liability or equity instrument. Okay? So based sa example natin, merong kontrata si Company A, si Company B, merong dalawang party at ang natanggap ni Company A is a financial liability at tatanggap ni Company B is a financial asset. So, those are financial instrument. Ano yung pinag-uusapan nating financial assets? Financial asset is any asset that is, number 1, cash, no? Pag sinabing cash, yan yung medium of exchange natin. Kaya nga pinag-uusapan natin ay financial. Pag sinabing financial, malamang sa malamang, tungkol sa cash yan. Okay? So, yung cash natin is medium of exchange, kaya yung cash is a financial asset. B, an equity instrument of another entity. Example natin ng mga equity instrument, ito yung merong kang residual interest sa ibang entity. Okay, since meron kang residual interest sa ibang entity, ang mga tawag dyan, example natin are investments. Okay, itong equity instrument of another entity are investments, no? Letter C, contractual right to receive cash or another financial asset from another entity. Based nga doon sa example natin, yung contractual right to receive cash ni B kay Company A is a receivable. Okay? O kaya naman mga other financial asset na pwede niya matanggap, no, galing kay Company A. Okay? And letter D, contractual right to exchange financial instruments with another entity under the conditions that are potentially favorable. Okay, so for example, nagkaroon ng exchange, no? Si Company B is ini-exchange niya yung shares of stocks niya kay Company A. Pero, ang exchange nila is mas mataas yung pinapalit sa'yo na financial asset. Therefore, yung kontrata na pinag-usapan nyo na exchange is a financial asset. And lastly, a contract that will or may be settled in the entity's own equity instrument and is not classified as entity's own equity instrument. Example natin yan is yung mga compensation, no? Example is meron kang contract, no, na kung saan makakatanggap ka ng compensation. Ngayon, yung company na nagpapasahod sa'yo, nag-declare sila ng bonus. Pero yung bonus na dineclare nila is in form of shares of stocks, na kung saan possible maging owner ka. Okay? Pero yung bonus, nakadepende kung maganda ang performance ng company. So, bibigyan ka ng bonus na ownership na shares of stocks kapag maganda ang performance ng company. So, yung conditional right, yung contractual right na matatanggap mong bonus is conditional. Okay? Kung saan hindi siya masisettle as own equity instrument. So, yung kontratang pinag-usapan mo na bonus na nakabase sa performance ng company ay isang financial asset. Okay? So, ano ba ang mga example ng mga financial assets? A is yung cash or currency, cash deposit in banks, syempre, mga accounts receivable, based nga sa example natin, mga notes receivable, loans receivable, and investment in share or equity instruments. Hindi lang naman limited dito, no? As long as merong kontrata na kung saan nakaka-receive ka ng contractual right to receive cash, therefore, possible may financial asset. Okay? Examples naman ng mga non-financial assets. Example is yung mga physical assets such as inventory and property, plant, and equipment. Okay, no? Itong mga physical assets na kung saan hindi naman yan nag-a-arise, hindi yan galing sa mga kontrata, na kung saan ang natatanggap mo is not cash, but rather ang nakukuha mo is economic benefit from using the inventory or the property, plant, and equipment. So therefore, yung mga nakukuha mo sa kanila is not cash itself, but from the use of operation, meron ka nakukuhang economic resources. Same goes true with the intangible asset such as patent and trademarks na kung saan ang nakukuha mo is economic benefits. And lastly, yung mga non-financial asset is yung mga prepaid expenses. Example ng mga prepaid expenses is rent expenses, utilities expenses, na kung saan binayaran mo sila ng advance. Okay? Kung mapapansin mo, ikaw pa yung nagbayad. Therefore, walang contractual right to receive cash. Okay? So, those are financial assets. Ano naman yung mga pinag-uusapan nating financial liabilities? Financial liability is any liability that is contractual obligation. So, dapat nag-arise din siya sa contract at least two parties and dapat mayroong financial asset and financial liabilities in or equity instruments. Okay? So, letter A, to deliver cash or financial assets to another entity. So, eto na nga yung kung saan kailangan mo magbayad, mag-deliver ng cash or other financial assets sa ibang kumpanya or sa ibang entity. Merong kontrata na kung saan kailangan magbayad ka ng cash, mag-deliver ng cash or mag-transfer ka ng other financial assets sa ibang entity. And to exchange financial instruments with another entity under conditions that are potentially unfavorable. Okay, so kung mapapansin mo, merong exchange transaction ng financial instrument. Yun nga lang, yung pagitan nyo is considered unfavorable sa'yo. For example, no, nakikipagkalit ka ng financial instrument. Yung pinapalit sa yung financial instrument is mas mababa dun sa binibigay mo sa kanya. Therefore, yung kontrata nyo na pinag-usapan nyo na palitan is possible financial liability. Okay? So example natin ng mga financial liabilities are payable such as accounts payable, notes payable, loans payable, and bonds payable. Okay? Lease liabilities. Lease liabilities, ito yung kontrata mo na kung saan meron kang contract para mangupahan. Okay? May renta ka. Okay? Since arising yan from contract and kailangan mong magbayad, therefore, lease liabilities are financial liabilities. Held for trading liabilities and derivative liabilities. Pag sinabi natin held for trading liabilities, ito yung mga liabilities mo na kung saan arising siya from normal operation o kaya naman yung mga trade liabilities mo na pinagte-trade mo sa public. Okay? Binabuy and sell mo yung mga liabilities. And derivative liabilities, mga liabilities arising from derivative assets. Redeemable preference shares issued. Pag sinabi natin redeemable preference share issued, ito yung mga preference shares na kung saan pwede mo siyang i-convert into ordinary shares o pwede mong bawiin. Since redeemable ito, therefore, this is a liability. A contractual right to deliver cash or other financial asset. And letter E, mga security deposit and other returnable deposit na kung saan kailangan mong ibalik yung pera. Pero, mga returnable sum of money sila na kung saan in case of damages or loss is pwede mong gamitin yung perang yon. Okay? Since yung perang yon in the first place is kailangan mong ibalik at minsan at kadalasan no kasama sila sa kontrata, therefore those are financial liabilities. Okay? Ano naman yung mga example ng mga non-financial liabilities? Number 1 is yung mga unearned revenue. Unearned revenue, ito yung mga revenue na kung saan tinanggap mo na yung pera. Pero hindi ka pa nakakapag-provide ng service. Since hindi ka pa nakakapag-provide ng service at nakatanggap ka na ng cash, therefore, income mo to. Wala ka namang contractual right to deliver the cash. Okay? Pero those are your income. Hindi mo nga lang napoprovide pa yung service. Kaya in turn, liabilities pa sila. Okay? Example pa ng mga non-financial liabilities are warranty obligations, no? Yung mga warranty obligation na kung saan sinesecure mo na kapag nasira yung isang bagay na binenta mo, pwede mo siyang palitan. Okay? Hindi siya nag-arise sa kontrata, but rather, those obligation arise from constructive obligation. Na kung saan gumawa ka ng obligation para palitan kapag nasira. In turn, yung nabentahan mo is nag-e-expect siya. Since nag-e-expect siya na palitan mo, merong obligation. Okay, may obligasyon ka na palitan or to do, obligation to do, na palitan yung mismong cellphone or yung mismong binenta mong asset kapag ka nasira. Next example is yung mga taxes, SSS, PhilHealth, and Pag-ibig payables, no? Okay, no? So pansinin mo, itong taxes, SSS, PhilHealth, and Pag-ibig payables are not based on contracts, but rather based on law. Okay? Yung taxes, based yan sa batas or sa mga governing law. Okay? Such as PhilHealth, SSS, and Pag-ibig. Since hindi sila galing sa kontrata, therefore, those are not financial liabilities. And lastly, yung sabi nga natin na constructive obligation na kung saan walang kontrata, but rather, meron lang obligasyon dahil meron kang ginawa. Okay? Meron kang ginawa ng nakaraan na kung saan nag-expect yung mga pinentahan mo or yung mga user. Therefore, merong obligasyon para gawin yun. Okay? So, those are constructive obligation that are not arising from contracts. Okay? So, ano naman yung mga equity instruments? Pag sinabi nating equity instruments, the definition of an equity instrument is very brief and succinct. It reflects the basic accounting equation that equals to asset minus liability is equal to equity. Okay? Na kung saan yung mga equity instruments mo are residual interest. So, an equity instrument is any contract that evidence a residual interest in an entity's asset after deducting all liabilities. Okay? Na kung saan, after deducting all the liabilities dun sa asset, is mapupunta sa'yo. Okay? Meron kang residual interest. Example natin is yung mga ordinary share capital. Okay? Nag-contribute ka sa kumpanya at binigyan ka ng equity interest which is ordinary shares. O kaya naman mga preference share capital. Okay? Yung mga preference share capital is same with ordinary shares na kung saan nag-contribute ka or bumili ka ng shares of stock sa isang kumpanya, in turn, binigyan ka ng share capital. Okay? And lastly, yung mga share option or share warrants na kung saan these are derivative assets or derivative assets na based on contracts, and therefore, since based on contract sila at binigyan ito ay based dun sa residual interest sa ibang entity, therefore, these are equity instruments. Okay? So, kung mapapansin mo, pwedeng sa isang financial asset, okay, yung issuer na pinagbigyan mo ng financial asset, pwede siyang mag-issue or magbigay sa'yo ng financial liability or equity instrument. Okay? Ngayon, ang sabi ng standard, paano kung dalawa? Okay? Paano kung sa iisang financial asset na binigay mo, ang naibigay sa'yo, ang in-issue sa'yo is isang financial liabilities at isang equity instrument. So, sa isang financial asset, magkasama yung in-issue sa'yo. Ang tawag sa ganon is compound financial instruments. Na kung saan yung financial instruments na binigay sa'yo is merong financial liability component at merong equity instrument component. Okay? So, ano ang treatment mo for compound financial instrument? Under the PAS 32, paragraph 28, defines a compound financial instrument as a financial instrument that contains both a liability and an equity element from the perspective of the issuer. So, in other words, one component of financial instrument meets the definition of financial liability and another component of the financial instrument meets the definition of an equity instrument. So, based nga doon sa example natin na kung saan nag-transfer or nagbigay ka ng isang financial asset, in turn, ang in-issue sa'yo is a financial liability plus equity component. Anong mga example nun? Example are bonds payable are issued with share warrants. Okay? Pag sinabi nating bonds payable, these are liabilities, no? Na kung saan nagbigay ka ng pera, okay? Na kung saan nagbigay ka ng pera, in turn, babayaran ka ng interest at kasama yung mismong liability. Pero yung bonds payable na in-issue sa'yo is may kasamang share warrants. Ano yung share warrants? Share warrants are derivative assets na kung saan nakabase yung value nila sa change in fair value. Etong share warrants na to is possible yan, pwede mong i-convert sa ordinary shares. Pag kinonvert mo yan sa ordinary shares, magiging investor ka na ng mismong company na nag-issue ng bonds payable. Okay? So possible ma-convert yan into ordinary shares. So ibig sabihin, equity instruments. So bumili ka ng dalawa, no, ng compound financial instrument na may kasamang liability plus equity instrument. Isa pang example is yung mga convertible bonds payable. Convertible bonds payable nga is yung pwede mo nga siya i-convert into ordinary shares. Okay? So kung mapapansin mo, based dun sa example natin, dun sa isang financial asset, nag-issue siya ng dalawa, financial liab at saka equity instrument. Okay? Ang sabi ng accounting, okay, kapag ka ang in-issue sa'yo is a compound financial instrument, dapat i-account mo sila separately. Kailangan i-account mo yung financial liability separately at dapat yung equity instrument i-account mo separately. Okay? Ang tawag doon sa pag-account nila separately is split accounting. Okay? Yung pag-account mo sa kanilang dalawa separately is split accounting. Under the PAS 32, kapag ka ang in-issue sa'yo is magkaiba, okay, isang liability component at isang equity component, kailangan ang approach mo, ang split accounting approach mo is yung tinatawag na residual value approach. Okay? Pag sinabing residual value approach, una mong bibigyan ng fair value measurement yung liability. Okay? Bago mo bigyan ng value yung equity component. Kung ano yung matitira dun sa mismong issued price is a measurement for equity instrument. Okay? So for example, no, 1 million yung financial instrument. Hanapin mo muna daw yung fair value ng financial liabilities. So for example, ang fair value ng financial liabilities is 800k. Therefore, ang recognition mo sa kanya is 800k na agad. At yung natira from the proceed is yun lang yung magiging balance for equity instrument. Ang tawag doon is residual value approach. Okay? Paano naman kapag ang binigay sa'yo na compound instrument is magkaparehas? Okay? For example, parehas equity instrument. Ang tawag pa rin doon is compound financial instrument na kung saan dalawang equity instrument. Example, ang binayad mo is 1 million tas ang inisyo sa'yo is ordinary shares and preference shares. Since dalawang equity instrument yan, ang tawag dyan is a compound financial instrument. Ngayon, kapag magkaparehas sila na equity component, ang dapat na approach mo na is yung tinatawag na relative fair value approach. Okay, pag sinabing relative fair value approach, kailangan hanapin mo both yung fair value nila sa kakagagawa ng fraction. Okay, so for example, ang fair value ng ordinary shares is 10, sa preference shares is 20. Therefore, ang fractional niyan is 1/3 for ordinary shares at 2/3 for preference shares. Saka mo i-multiply sa proceeds. Okay? So, para mas lalo mong maintindihan, no, punta tayo dun sa illustration. Okay? So, illustration number 1. Muico Corporation issued convertible bonds with a face amount of 1 million for 1,050,000. Each 1,000 bond is convertible into 8 shares with par value of 100 per share. On issue date, the bonds are selling at 98 without the conversion option. Required, how much is the issue price allocated to the equity component? Okay, so kung mapapansin mo, nag-issue ka ng dalawang item. Okay? Isang bond na liability, yung 1,000 bond, and convertible into 8 ordinary shares. So since pwede mo siyang i-convert, yung 1,050,000 mo is na issue or nabili mo for isang convertible bond at isang share option. Option or convertible option. So, ang tawag sa nabili mo is a compound financial instrument. So, since magkaiba sila, isang liability at isang equity component, therefore, ang gagamitin mong approach is residual approach. Okay, so hanapin mo muna kung magkano yung fair value nung convertible bond. Ang fair value na daw, base niya sa problem, is 98 without the conversion option. So, ibig sabihin, yung 1 million mo, okay, times 0.98. Kasi yun yung price niya without the conversion option. Yun yung fair market value niya. So, therefore, 980,000 yung para sa bonds mo. At yung balance is para sa equity na 70,000. Okay? So, how much is the issue price allocated to equity component? So, answer is 70,000 for the equity component, 980,000 for the bonds. Okay, so kung i-entryan mo yan for the journal entry, debit, si Muico ang issuer, okay, ng bonds. So, debit cash, nakatanggap siya ng cash amounting to 1050. Okay, 1050. 1,050,000. Okay, credit, bonds payable, okay, yung convertible bonds payable, amounting to its face value na 1 million. Okay, 1,000 times 100 is 1 million. And discount, debit discount, kasi ang natanggap lang talaga, ang para lang talaga sa bonds mo is 980. Okay, so discount ng 20,000, 1 million minus 980 is 20,000. And credit for the convertible option. Okay, convertible option na 70,000. Okay? Next, ano naman daw ang gagawin mo kapag para sa interest, dividend, losses, and gains that relate to a financial liability and equity instrument? Kapag yung interest mo, dividend, losses, and gains related sa financial liability, i-recognize mo to under profit or loss. So, lahat ng interest, dividend, losses, and gains that relate to financial liability, ang recognition mo dyan is nasa income statement or profit or loss item. Whereas, kapag equity instrument, directly yan sa equity. Okay? It's either share premium or retained earnings. Okay? So, ano naman mangyayari kapag merong transaction cost? Pag merong transaction cost na related sa financial liability, ang bagsak niyan is sa profit or loss item din. Except na lang kapag ka sa mga investment or liabilities measured at fair value through profit or loss. Okay? Kasi kailangan yung mga financial liability na related sa fair value through profit or loss is directly sa profit or loss. Pero kapag financial liabilities related to transaction cost, itong profit or loss na to is kailangan mong i-amortize. Okay? I-amortize mo yan over the life of the financial liabilities. And kapag sa equity instrument naman, yung transaction cost is a deduction sa equity. Okay? So, transaction cost related to financial instrument is a deduction on equity component. Okay? And lastly, under PAS 32, offsetting of financial asset and financial liabilities are offset and only the net amount is presented in the statement of financial position when the entity has the following. Dapat dalawa, no? Merong legal right to set off. Okay? So, ibig sabihin yung financial asset at yung financial liabilities is merong kang legal basis para i-offset sila, i-presented as net, and merong intention to settle the amounts on a net or simultaneous basis. So, pagkatanggap mo ng receivable, babayaran mo na kagad yung liabilities. Okay? So, pwede mo siyang i-offset. Okay? So, hanggang dun na lang muna, no, ang ating PAS 32. Kung meron kang katanungan, questions, or other gusto mong i-clarify, comment down below, no? So, salamat. Hanggang sa muli. Paalam.